Are you looking for something deadlier for your Taicho? There are a lot of deadly techs in combination that can make you win most of the games. But what are the best deadly tech among all of this? So in this video, I'm gonna show you what are the top 8 best deadly techs that you can apply with Taicho. Taicho was my first guide that I made in Volleyball Legends, so if you haven't watched that, I recommend you to learn from it. So before we get started, this is how the top 8 will be determined. So the lower the difficulty, the better, and the higher the effectiveness, the better. So without further ado, let's get into the top 8. Dump set is basically you set towards your enemy, and this tech is really good against slow styles, especially noobs. This tech is ridiculously the dumbest tech that I have learned because it's too funny. Imagine if you set away towards them and they fail to reach it. It's like you're ego farming if you do this. Although it's quite challenging to do this because you need to do a partial in this, or it might be out if you go too much on it. I recommend you to do this on the practice mode so you can get used to it, especially in different angles. Remember, you can only do this if you and your enemy is close to net and they try to receive it from you. It's either you get a dump set or a dump set. This tech is seriously ridiculous. And now for the top 7, the Taicho curve set tech. This is probably the coolest aura farming you can do against your enemy, but it only applies if your enemy has a shield breaker. If you know when your enemy uses this shield break against you, then you can purposely trigger this to set with your spiker. And that's how you will surprise your enemy with the curve setting. Although this is seriously super hard to do and it's only effective to players who are not aware of it. If it is against pro, I don't think you should be doing this because it takes some time to reach the ball to your spiker. But if you want to do this really bad, the only thing you have to mind is the timing of this. And for the aiming for the set, it's just the same as your normal setting. Overall, this tech is super hard to do, so it's not worth it to do this most of the time. And for the top 6, spike set tech. This tech is quite challenging to do at first, but it becomes easier if you and your teammate have a good synergy for this. So instead of setting, you do spiking from the back row towards your spiker with S2. Then it becomes super fast in the setting, and this is really good for surprising your enemy. And it's much better than Taicho curve set and dump set. Why do I keep calling dump set a dump set? But anyways, this difficulty is intermediate, so you need a lot of practice and with your friends to do this. Or else, you might end up losing points. So do this at your own risk until you're good at it. And moving on for the top 5, curve spike serve. Well, this one is very familiar from time skip Oigawa serve tech, but did you know you can also do this with Taicho? The effectiveness of this tech depends on how well you can serve with this and how fast you can surprise your enemy with this. But honestly, it's quite easier than the previous 3 like the curve set tech. The only disadvantage in this tech is that you can only do this occasionally than the other 3. What's good with this is that most players fall victim from this tech, so it's working most of the time, especially with slow styles like Sanju, Hidari, or Jinko. So if you want to do a curve spike serve, you can start off first with no glide, like you just jump, then activate it before spiking, then it goes in. Make sure you do this quick or else your enemy can react against it. Overall, curve spike serve depends on how well you can serve against your enemy, so it becomes super good if you are really good at serving. And for the top 4, back row tech. This one is the most deadliest tech when combined with Hidari or time skip Hinata. The reason why this is the deadliest because I have seen this a lot with pro Hinata players, and we really do this honestly a lot in ranked games. And it's really working against pro player because it keeps through the front and mid, and it's super hard to receive. The only way to receive this is through predicting it and be on the spot where it lands. Although this tech is easier with Hidari, but it's really hard with time skip Hinata because you have to wait for your time skip Hinata to have max power spiking. So it really depends whether you have a good spiker if you want to score well with this. So it's really recommended for you to have a friend to practice this so you can do this well when you do the ranked match. So I'm gonna be for real, it's really worth it to master this, but although it's really challenging to master this. And now for the top 3, Taicho plus Hidari combo. Taicho plus Hidari are one of the best duo in Volleyball Legends. The reason is that Hidari has this slightly beyond max stat than anyone else, and the fact that it's guaranteed to trigger his power spike with his left hand makes it a bit better than time skip Hinata. Like I mentioned from the previous tag, it's super good when you do it with Taicho. You just have to set towards your Hidari, make sure he's on your right side so you can easily trigger his left hand. So this is the example of doing this with Hidari. Let's also test this on the back row tech. Overall, they're pretty good if you wanted to grind rank in 3v3s. The only bad thing about Hidari is that he got recently a nerf on his gravity and overall stats, but it's still good. And for our bonus deadly tech combo, it's the Taicho plus Jinko combo. Combining Jinko and Taicho together makes it even more deadlier on his spike. His curve spiking will become much more faster and it is much more guaranteed to hit due to Taicho power setting. It bypasses the enemy when spiking, so they are really forced to jump to receive the ball from Jinko. And because of the Taicho set power, he can do a deadly partial demon cut. So basically, this combo is as deadly as the Taicho plus Hidari combo. And for our top 2, magnetic dunk tech. Well, this is the easiest tech you can ever do and it works most of the time. All you have to do is to just activate it, hold the ball, make sure you are in the mid or close to net, then glide towards the net, then you dunk it. You just have to W tilt when you're really close to net, then spike it. What makes good on this tech is that magnetic pull gives pressure to your enemy whether you're gonna spike it or not. It makes the enemy think whether you're gonna spike it immediately or delay it a lot. And this tech works most of the time, especially in ranked matches. Although the only disadvantage of this is that it takes a while before you get to use your magnetic pull. And this is the example of doing the magnetic pull. Overall, magnetic dunk tech is super easy and effective to use. And for our top 1, Taicho plus Hinata combo. This is the best so far among all of the tech because it always has been. Taicho and Hinata are the best duo to use because both have a decent speed stats and their decent speed stats makes them flexible on receiving. Plus, the Taicho power sets makes Hinata power spikes even deadlier. The reason why Taicho and Hinata combo are the best than Taicho and Hidari is that it has a better receiving mechanics than Hidari. In Hidari, it has a disadvantage in his speed and his left hand is the only power spike. Time skip Hinata has a better speed and aiming than Hidari, which makes him superior, and the fact that Hidari got nerfed gives him more disadvantage. So if you apply the back row, magnetic dunk tech, or spike tech to Hinata, it's over for your enemy. So this is the example of Taicho plus Hinata combo on the back row. And this is the example of Taicho plus Hinata combo on the spike setting. Oh my god, wow. And how about you also learn how to use time skip Hinata with this guide? And maybe you have missed the Taicho guide that I have mentioned earlier, so you can click this. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. As always, Apello Summer says, to God be the glory.